After Li acknowledged leader as the godfather, he entered the Red Flower Society with his wife, Ting-ting. On their way back to headquarters, they encountered a high monk who possessed great foresight. With just one glance, the monk recognized leader as the supreme authority and warned of an impending calamity, where both those who harm and those who save him would be close associates. Before the monk could finish, a group of assassins stormed in. Leader reacted swiftly, dodging their attacks. However, the wise monk beside him was unfortunately struck. Seeing leader in danger, Li immediately rushed to support him. As leader began to counterattack with his sword, the assassins realized the situation was unfavorable and retreated. Leader chose not to pursue, instructing his brothers to return to headquarters immediately. The Red Flower Society held a summary meeting, and before it commenced, an elderly woman approached with her grandson, seeking help in naming him. Taking advantage of leader's momentary relaxation, the old woman attempted to stab him with a dagger. But leader reacted quickly, saving the baby first. At this moment, a man in white jumped into the crowd, ignoring leader's order to spare lives and directly dispatching the old woman. It was clear to the discerning that he was eliminating witnesses, but the man, named Hai, denied any involvement. He was the son of the former leader and had long harbored resentment for not inheriting the position. To clear his name of attempting to assassinate leader, Hai vowed to die to prove his innocence. Of course, leader wouldn't allow him to die before his eyes. However, just then, Hai's son recognized the old woman and claimed he brought her in. Enraged, Hai attempted to kill his own son, but Li intervened. As the two argued, leader ordered Li to kneel, accusing him of lacking respect for seniority. He then instructed Li to recite the rules of the society from past generations 100 times. Li couldn't understand why, as he had simply saved a child without wrongdoing. At this point, Hai approached, and with old animosities reignited, the two engaged in a fight. Amidst the brawl, leader intervened, urging Li to apologize voluntarily. Li was reluctant, and leader, feeling frustrated, lamented Li's lack of potential as a great man. After leader left, Li's uncle revealed leader's intentions to him. It turned out only leader was qualified to recite the rules of the society, as leader had intentionally been grooming him to become the next leader. Meanwhile, leader received intelligence that a group of Japanese warriors intended to deliver a jeweled box containing information about his origins to the imperial court. Leader, not being of Han descent, was even the blood brother of Emperor Qianlong. Aware that revealing his true identity would jeopardize everything he had built and pose a grave threat to the Red Flower Society, he immediately deployed troops and sent Li and others to retrieve the jeweled box. Early the next morning, the group ambushed the shoreline. Just as the Japanese warriors were about to appear, a woman in red suddenly emerged. Li, concerned about innocent bystanders, urged her to leave, unaware that she was there to meet them. When the box was sighted, everyone rushed forward to seize it, while Li, still worried about Sun's safety, shielded her and engaged in battle with the warriors. While they were occupied, the rest of their comrades were swiftly defeated by the Japanese warriors. Though Li fought valiantly once he realized the situation, he was eventually immobilized by a pressure point technique. Just as he faced imminent death, a mysterious figure in a straw hat intervened, Li's mother. Though Li's life was spared, the mission to seize the jeweled box failed. Hai seized the opportunity to berate Li, calling him a cowardly deserter. While Li acknowledged his fault, his mother, with a fiery temper, attacked Hai. Leader intervened to defuse the situation, revealing that the jeweled box had fallen into the hands of the governor of Guangdong in Guangxi, whose daughter, Sun, was present. Knowing Sun's affection for Li, leader suggested that Li get close to her to retrieve the box through her. Initially hesitant, as he was already involved with Ting-ting, Li agreed upon seeing Hai's eagerness. He even made a bet with Hai that if the mission failed again, he would renounce his martial arts skills. They sent a love letter to Sun in Li's name. Upon reading it, Sun was filled with joy and immediately went to the nunnery to meet Li. Along the way, Li's mother coached him on how to win her heart. Determined to help Godfather retrieve the jeweled box, Li went all out. While Sun liked Li, she had a condition: he must defeat all the participants at the marriage proposal contest 3 days later and marry her in front of everyone. On the day of the contest, Sun looked stunningly beautiful, and the princes and nobles were all eager. As the signal was given, their attendants swiftly rushed forward, forming a human ladder for the princes to climb. At that moment, Li and his team arrived, but the guards at the entrance refused to let them in since the contest had begun. Li flew in with a kite, impressing Sun with his unconventional entrance. Li fought valiantly, swiftly defeating the princes and nobles. Just as he was getting close to Suen, another person rushed onto the stage. This person was skilled and agile, engaging Li in combat immediately. To Li's shock, it was his wife, Ting-ting. Before Li could react, Ting-ting and Suen began fighting over him, consumed by jealousy. Li couldn't stop them, and his mother, fearing the consequences, begged Ting-ting to prioritize the bigger picture. Moved by her mother-in-law's plea, Ting-ting congratulated Li on his marriage and sadly departed. Li won the marriage proposal contest, but on his wedding night, he still longed for Ting-ting. Determined to retrieve the jeweled box without further delay, Li proposed to exchange it with his body. Upon realizing that her feelings were being commodified, Suen left in despair, abandoning the jeweled box. With the box in hand, Li planned to leave with his mother and Ting-ting. However, the governor, anticipating Li's intentions, he set up a trap outside, even deploying cannons from the arsenal. Just as Li was about to be blown to pieces, Suen appeared once again, offering to help them escape at the cost of her own life. As the group left the governor's mansion, they were intercepted by Hai's men. After deliberation, the three decided to split up to escape. This allowed Li to successfully return to headquarters. Instead of directly handing over the jeweled box, Li threw it into a brazier as Hai attempted to snatch it. He understood that revealing the secrets within the box would force leader to abdicate. However, Hai was relentless. According to their initial wager, Li had to renounce his martial arts skills. Knowing Li's sacrifice was for him, leader, with tears in his eyes, reluctantly crippled Li by severing the tendons in his hands and feet. Learning of this, Li's mother, wielding a kitchen knife, sought to confront leader. Only Li's uncle discerned the truth. Leader had not used full force, inflicting only superficial injuries. Li survived, but Hai intended to finish him off personally. Li's uncle urged him to flee while he stayed behind to hold off Hai. Hai never expected that the person he usually looked down upon was a hidden master. With his expertise in pressure point techniques, even chickens would be immobilized. A henchman, using lime powder, ambushed Li's uncle, who, unable to dodge, had his fingers disabled by Hai. Hearing his cries, Li's mother rushed back to help, but instead became a burden. Sacrificing himself to shield her, Li's uncle was fatally wounded by Hai's sword. That night, Hai confronted leader, using his trusted men to blackmail him into stepping down. Hai finally ascended to leader's position. His first act of authority was to have his men pelt Li's mother with eggs. Godfather was thrown into prison. Upon awakening, Li was consumed by rage. Returning alone to the Red Flower Society, he demonstrated his invincibility with 8 samurai swords. Refusing to witness his comrades killing each other, he blindfolded himself with a black cloth, refusing to see their bloodshed. As more and more people fell before him, they were awed by Li's momentum and cleared the way for him. Upon breaking into headquarters, Li found Hai waiting, with chairs stacked into a small mountain and his mother suspended in the middle. Fueled by rage, Li and Hai immediately engaged in battle. However, constrained by his mother's life, Li found himself at a disadvantage, and the chair mountain began to collapse under its own weight. Li continuously kicked out chairs to create footholds. Suddenly, minions rushed in again. After dealing with them, Li turned around to find his mother in Hai's grasp. Hai threatened Li to surrender by using her life as leverage. Seeing his plan succeeding, Hai kicked Li down and began to humiliate him underfoot. Witnessing her son's humiliation, Li's mother used her head to strike at Hai. With the situation reversed, Li grabbed a rope and tied it around his waist. Mother and son fought side by side once again, employing the shadowless hand technique. Remembering his uncle's words, Li circled behind Hai, using pressure point techniques and unleashing a barrage of punches, ultimately defeating Hai in leader's seat. After this ordeal, Li had a profound realization. He understood the difficulties of leader's position. After redeeming Godfather, he expressed his intention to retire from the martial world, prepared to take his 2 beloved women back home to sell fabric.